Not a problem. Okay, we'll give it another minute for others to join before we kick off. Mike, did I hear you correctly? Are we live now?
Live on YouTube as well.
Right. Great. Well, just give it another minute and we'll kick off. Hello, everyone. I think in the interest of time, and it's only fair on those who have joined for us to kick off on time. In any event, we would be wrapping up before, or on, we'll definitely be wrapping up on time. And on time means concluding, within 2 hours. So I think on that note, let's kick off. Hope everyone had a great week. And thanks again for joining. There's a lot for us to cover as the TitanX community, and a lot has transpired over the last week that I think we should discuss, and that is in a positive way. So I would like to kick off with TitanX stats, which in a way addresses issues that were raised during the week, and after that we could move on to our usual updates from our builders, and we'll open up the floor for discussions that will be on the various topics that we are facing as a community. I think if we look back, TitanX has really grown in the last year. We are a year old after all, and we've covered substantial ground. And so the issues that are being raised in our usual way should be addressed head on, and when I say head on, I mean discussed. So yeah, I would think and hope that we can have that discussion during our discussion segment of this spaces. Okay, so on that note, I'm now on the TitanX website on the stats page, and so let's see. We have 67.5 trillion, and rounding it down, by the way, so that's 67.5 trillion TitanX in liquid form. In percentage terms, it's 30.1%. Now, over the last few weeks, I think we would have witnessed this go up to 70, just over 70 trillion, went down to just I think in the 40s, just about 40 plus trillion, and creeped up to 50 plus trillion, and we all know exactly why. So I mean, for those of us who are new here, just to let you know, we are, of course, moving towards a hyper-deflationary phase, but we've had an inflation and a hyperinflationary phase, the highest inflationary months being August and September. August, we had about 20 trillion tokens hit the market. We had, for September, it was about 25 trillion. October, 13 trillion mintable tokens that hit the market. And for November, we had 4 trillion tokens. But of course, you then, and those are the 4 trillion tokens being new tokens hitting the market. But at the same time, there were tokens that were staked that were coming unstaked this month. And again, of course, at this phase, let me just go to TitanX Hub. And this is the premium tool or solution. And just, I was looking at this earlier today, and I think probably it's something that we all here would be interested in. But you do have stats on staked, future unstaked TitanX over the next 100 days, and that's what I'm kind of looking at now. So, as of say today, today's 393 since the launch of TitanX. I think we're expecting 1.24 trillion tokens. That's for today. You look at next significant on stake would be day 395, and that's 1.59 trillion tokens cumulative, meaning day 393 to day 395 would be 2.92 trillion. You can round that up to 3 trillion tokens. Now, if I just use that same sort of mechanic, we've got today is the, I think the 24th of November. We have 6 more days left. So let's just say, okay, so I'll just say this month we've got cumulative unstaked TitanX tokens. So roughly end of this month, beginning of next month would be 6.32 trillion TitanX tokens. In my view, not something we should be worried about, because you look at the pipeline of TitanX, the TitanX Hub pipeline, you see the range of substantive protocols that will be hitting the market before end of year, and we should expect a really busy 4 to 6 weeks. So if you take, okay, we're looking at let me look at, sorry about that. Let's just say 6.5 trillion tokens to hit the market by end of this month, early next month. And you were to say, okay, let's see how much in terms of mintable TitanX tokens that we can expect for the rest of the month. And let me just pull that up. So we have 367 billion tokens left for this month, mintable. So if you really look at that, and even next month, December, we're looking at 160 billion. Not that significant at all. So I'm just looking at this, just over 500 billion tokens, fine. So let's just say 7 trillion tokens expected to hit the market. Sorry, I mean, even if you were to exclude December, let's just look at the 367 billion for November, and you add that to the 6.5 trillion tokens that are due to be unstaked by end of this month, beginning of next month. It's still under 7 trillion. The point is, that's not a significant amount to be to be concerned about. And I'm continuing the narrative that, of course, we all should be aware of, or most of us, those of us who are not new here, the narrative that that there are a number of tokens hitting the market that that one should be concerned about. That is one narrative, of course, and I think we should really look at it. So anyway, that is the some data that I wanted to touch upon. Let's go back to the TitanX page. So we've talked about liquid, staked amount. We've talked about the staked for next few days, that are due next few days. The total staked amount that's left of all TitanX tokens that has been minted and staked, we have just 10%, 10.34% TitanX tokens remain staked. That's not a huge amount. In numbers terms, it's 23 trillion TitanX tokens. I say this because we need to keep an eye on the future, the next few months ahead. I didn't go through what the unstaked TitanX tokens for January to June, July next year, because they're largely insignificant in terms of numbers. So, but I will say that we should keep an eye on sort of the next few months, what we can expect to happen. And so buy and burn, just moving on quickly, buy and burn, or buy and burn piece of the pie is 33.68%. So of all the TitanX tokens that have been mined and minted, claimed, we have 33.68% of the tokens that have now been bought and burnt. In numbers terms, we have it's 75.5 trillion. That is significant. Now, if you look at all TitanX tokens that have been minted, and you could look at that, look at the numbers really, and I think the number is about 113 trillion tokens. I mean, that is actually that's what I came across today. And correct me if I'm wrong if the number is not correct, but we're talking about over 113 trillion tokens, and we have and you look at the buy and burn and how active it has been over the year, over the course of the year, and see where we are with 67 trillion or 67.5 trillion tokens circulated, and over 75.5 trillion bought and burnt. We're moving in the direction that we all hoped for, and that is the hyperdeflationary phase of of this entire ecosystem. Okay, and so I would actually want to pause there with respect to going through these stats. And I hope that we all can take the time and go through these stats. So I would like to say we're heading in the right direction with our hyper-deflationary overarching objective. We also have the discussion about liquidity that we had earlier, that we had during the week. And I think those of us who have seen Jake's tweet on the ratio of liquidity to market cap with respect to Bitcoin and TitanX, I think that is the sort of data that really just makes things just answers the question and drives the noise away. So the TitanX ecosystem is healthy. you compare it with any other ecosystem across the industry, and you can only arrive at that conclusion that is really very healthy. I think Mo in one of his live streams during the week pointed out that of the 22 Ethereum protocols with the highest liquidity, that 3 protocols from the TitanX ecosystem featured. And so really, I think my view is this is a work in progress. Nobody's talking that nobody's saying that this is perfect. There's still work to do. We all should be open-minded, of course. But I think what I'll need to add here is, you know, we don't need to tear down the house because we disagree. You don't tear down your home because you disagree with your partner, or you build, okay? And sometimes we may not get the immediate response we want to get. I think what we do is, you know, keep at it. That's pretty much it. And it seems that the perception is being created that there's an issue with TitanX or the TitanX liquidity, without really giving, I'll say, you know, putting the right context around this. That, and we should be very much aware of that. And I think I've said enough of this. I'll pause at this point, but to say, whenever we've had an issue within TitanX, we've surpassed expectations. I mean, whenever we've had a problem to solve or a challenge, we've scaled that challenge. We've done really well. I mean, you look at the time, you look at when you looked at TitanX protocol itself, when we stopped, or when we stopped getting you know, new mines or new miners as we had in the first 3 months. I think Jake came up at Hyper, which eventually became ETH based, as in received ETH. And Hyper brought in a decent amount of ETH within the ecosystem. Of course, when you look at Ouroboros as well, Ouroboros that allocated just I think under 5% of all of its raise to ETH. So if you wanted to buy into or participate within the Ouroboros ecosystem, you have 5% of the tokens you could get if you participated with ETH. So you could get 5% of the total of Ouroboros that was on offer, you could get with your ETH. And that ETH raise is really substantially what's going to back the stable coin. What I'm saying here is this: the discussion about ETH and, you know, beefing up the ETH that we have within the ecosystem it has been done in the past, and it is no issue from where I'm coming from. TitanX now has 22 protocols, including TitanX itself, if you look, that have gone live, and you have another 22 in the pipeline. We're not in our first, we're not in the first 3 months. We're really pretty much on our way to hyperdeflation. So we can look at other considerations. And so if the issue is to get more ETH in place, of course we can look at other protocols that have ideas, are prepared to innovate and keep within the ethos, of course. But we don't pull the house down. That is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, I'm not going to continue to flog the issue here. I think the point has been made. But yeah, let me hand over to Mike. And of course, we've got Crypto Awesome, and I see some of our builders at Ali here, And yeah, Raymond, I see you. So yes, I'll hand over to Mike, and of course, our builders. If you have any updates, I'd really like to hear these updates, because they're clearly updates that we do need from our builders. But yeah, Mike, over to you.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Back again on Sunday. As I like to say, green candles, red candles. We're always here on Sunday. Definitely Plan A, myself, and some few other people as well. So thank you very much for listening in. I have a few things here on mind. I'll try to keep it short so that other people have a bit more to say probably today. One is definitely Eden has launched. I think you guys, probably are following this already, and they launched yesterday. Shout out to Rainman, by the way. He's here today, so he may probably give us some more updates. We are working as hard as possible to get the information in the TitanX Hub Premium. I've already got some DMs, people asking when the information is going to be in the Eden information is going to be in the TitanX Hub Premium. Yes, it's good. It's already listed on TitanX Hub. It is in the portfolio tracker as well, if you're holding it, so you can view it on the TitanX Hub portfolio tracker, and you can also swap it. Swap, buy, sell on the TitanX Hub DEX aggregator. And by the way, if you have any issues or so, just send me a DM and I can look into some of the things as well. And also for the Dune dashboard for Eden, it is going to be coming out as well. I'll be working on that. I will definitely send out a tweet once that is ready. Another thing, maybe to just I did got a DM. The price of scale. There was an issue on TitanX Hub showing the price of scale. I mean, this is sometimes an issue with DEX Screener flipping the pairs. I suspect there is a bug in their end, which for whatever reason, at some point, it just flips the pairs. And when the pairs are flipped, then the price is completely different. So normally, if you have, let's say, scale Baby Dragon X, and when the scale flips, it's now the other way around, and then it starts showing the price of Baby Dragon X. I mean, this has happened to several pairs as well. Also, some of the pairs which are not even in our ecosystem, but I'm still showing them on the portfolio. That was also an issue there as well. So this is something which they screen for whatever reason, they flip the pairs at certain points. I believe this is a bug on their end, but I think they're just, I'm not sure how big the team is, but I mean, they must be very big for sure, but still, this is an issue which has been there for quite some time already. Because this has happened to other pairs as well, not in our ecosystem, but some other ecosystem as well. But this is like a known issue on their screener. Anyway, but now I chose another pool for the scale price, and then that shows, that is showing the right price right now, as far as I see. Definitely in the portfolio, that's for sure. And probably another thing regarding X28. I mean, you guys probably have seen on TitanX Hub, X28 is definitely climbing up the ranks. On TitanXHub.com, the default order is how much you have burned or forever stake TitanX. And X28 right now is at number 7. Slowly inching on Volt, and then probably is going to surpass Helios, Hydra, Hyper, Dragon X. I'm not sure. Dragon X is at 15.84 trillion. So, well, that's going to be something if X28 surpasses burning or forever staking TitanX. I mean, at the end of the day, is either forever staking or burning. It's definitely, the fact is, like, those coins will never come into circulation again. I mean, that's why I put these two numbers together, because at the end of the day, if those tokens will never will never come into circulation again, it just makes sense. And I think right now is the best default order right now for that. But we have X28 definitely number 7 now, so it's going to be interesting if it's going to flip. Obviously, there is Volt, Helios, Hydra, Hyper, Dragon X along the way, but if he can it can beat DragonX, I think that's going to be pretty huge, I have to say. And obviously, but I don't believe this is going to be the case, if it will flip TitanX itself, because TitanX, it's also burning itself. I mean, for some of you guys out there, you know this already, but probably there's some new listeners here. So TitanX gets burned by, the buy and burn of TitanX burns TitanX. And right now it has burned so far 68 trillion. So it's going to be interesting if X28 can actually burn that much as well, which is fairly high. But I suspect maybe number 3, so maybe it's going to burn more than Hyper. I think that probably going to be more the case. Overtaking DragonX, maybe that's big of a catch. But well, looking forward to that if that happens. So definitely looking forward for X28. Lastly, Matrix update. I'm doing another round of testing this weekend. I don't know, maybe you don't hear it on my voice, but I'm extremely tired already because I've been just testing the whole weekend, doing nothing else. Normally I go to the gym, but now my gym is at home as well. So it's like everything is at home now. Just testing, waking up, testing, and do some movement as well here with my home gym. Very rudimentally, but yeah, at least something. And I'll be doing in the upcoming week, I'm going to gather some few people so we can also do some testing as well, so that we're absolutely clear that this thing is working. And then while the audit is actually ongoing right now, so hopefully the first audit is going to be coming in the upcoming week, and then we can take things from there. I will, I'll update you more the more information I get, but that's it from my side right now. Thank you for listening in. I'm still around, so if there's any questions, I'll be here.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you. And of course, there will be an opportunity to ask questions later on for those of us who just joined. Okay, moving swiftly on. Crypto Awesome, over to you.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Great, thanks. Well, congratulations on the Eden launch. I'm super excited. I got my mints in, and very excited about that. And also, we just literally launched the AwesomeX hybrids today. So they are now officially launched and available to buy with AwesomeX if you go to the AwesomeX website, on the top it says hybrids, or it's just hybrids.awesomex.win. Anyways, kind of cool. The AwesomeX hybrids are live. They're live on the Titan Legends marketplace as well. They're live to be able to list and swap and trade and everything. And they're also available on OpenSea if you want, or whatever marketplace you want. But Titan Legends is very cool, and you could transfer them to different wallets and stuff on Titan Legends. So anyways, very excited about that. The hybrids are basically a map of the AwesomeX universe. There's 8 characters in the hybrids. There's 3 tiers each of hybrids. So there's 3 NFTs of each character, and there's 8 characters. But each character represents a protocol that will be coming on AwesomeX. And so currently, the one we're working on right now, the next one is called Draco. And Draco will be a deflationary mining and staking protocol built on AwesomeX that uses AwesomeX to mint and also pays out stakers in AwesomeX. So we're actively working on that. But the hybrids by having hybrids, you're going to get bonuses in these new protocols coming up as well. So there will be many reasons to hold hybrids over time. They're not a cap supply. It's basically it stores your AwesomeX and gives you benefits in other protocols. So it's kind of nice because if you mint other NFTs in the world, it's like you're just minting an NFT and then your money just kind of goes away. With hybrids, you mint the NFT and your money stays in it. So it's very interesting, and it's a lot of fun. So get some cool NFTs if you guys want to. You got to use, well, no, you don't have to use AwesomeX to mint it. In fact, you can use AwesomeX, TitanX, ETH, or DragonX. So you can use any one of those 4 currencies to mint AwesomeX hybrids. And now the mechanics of those right now is the same as E280. It buys AwesomeX and mints with AwesomeX. So it has basically an exchange rate built into the protocol. But people can just come in straight with ETH and if they wanted to. It is the most optimal route to mint with AwesomeX, gas-wise. So but it does it all for you if you have other tokens, both TitanX and DragonX. Anyways, yeah, guys, so that's what I got for you. I'm super excited about it. Check out the NFTs, see what you think, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Crypto Awesome. And I think we'll move on to Ali.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Going well, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, we missed last week. We had me, Bad Sports, Scotty Blaze, and Irish Crypto had a meetup, a real life meetup in Portugal last weekend. So yeah, it got pretty crazy. It took me until about Wednesday to recover. So that's why we missed last Sunday.
Yeah. We wouldn't ask any questions. What happens in Portugal stays in Portugal.
But look, I mean, so the our commitment to TitanX is as strong as ever. You know, the old saying, red candles, green candles. We're here all the time. You know, a big part of our meeting last weekend was to meet up, discuss everything, get aligned on all the things that we're building at the minute with Accelerate, GoatX, Ascendant, Draco, among others. And just to solidify our own commitment to each other, you know, to continue to working together and just to cement the relationships even further and just plan out what we've got coming over the next few weeks. So, you know, not financial advice, but if people are paying attention to the FUD on the ecosystem, do not fumble your bags. You know, you look at where we were 6 months ago, whenever, you know, times were tough in the ecosystem back then. You know, I didn't fumble any of my pulse chain bags, and that's starting to pay off. You know, just be careful. You know, there's a lot of smart people in the ecosystem. I just want to say, just be careful and don't start fumbling your bags, chasing green candles here, there, and everywhere. You know, this ecosystem's easily going to turn around again. As far as I see it, it will turn around. We've got so much coming. There's been a little bit of a lull in activity, yes, and even from Accelerate and some of the amount of protocols coming out recently. But that's really going to start to change. I think people are also, builders especially, are holding off a little bit, waiting for Shogun X20, waiting for X28 to come out, waiting for Shogun to come out. I know we could have launched something on the 28th ourselves for Accelerate, but we just wanted to hold off and let Shogun take its play. And the good thing that we've been kind of doing is, just looking at what we can change in the protocols that we're building to best utilize X28 and the changing market conditions. Like you say, the ecosystems always, every time there's any sort of challenges in the ecosystem, the builders come up with new ways to defeat the different challenges. So that's some things that we've been doing and haven't been rushing to market with some of the products that we're building at the minute. But look, we're going to have the weekly Blaze back. We missed last Tuesday as well. We're going to have the weekly Blaze back on Tuesday night, and we'll be doing a run through of the Ascendant white paper and hopefully the GoatX white paper, and we'll have a few guests on there as well. So yeah, the Ascendant white paper was dropped at the start of last week. We've had great feedback on that so far. So, but we haven't actually done a live stream going through it in any great detail yet. So, again, for us, we're starting to ramp up on the next sort of phase of launches for Accelerate. So, GoatX is in audit stage at the minute, and the first audit is almost complete. It's in testing. The second audit should be starting in the coming days. Ascendant will be going into testnet at the end of this week. With the first audit on that starting very soon after. So those are the two things that are coming soonest from us at the minute, and we'll be discussing them both in detail on the weekly Blaze on Tuesday night. So look, I'm as committed ever to building on TitanX and building on X28. We've got so much to come over the next 6 weeks, not just from Accelerate, but from all the builders. Everybody's got a lot of things in the pipeline. The Inferno Kingdom is going to expand exponentially as well. We had the E369 from the Dude launch on Flux, but there's still another 6 protocols to launch within the Inferno Kingdom over the next sort of 6 to 8 weeks, probably 4 to 8 weeks. Sorry, I know Phoenix is in testing that as well. So just in that little Inferno subset of ecosystems, there's a hell of a lot of stuff happening over the next little while. So yeah, I'll be working my ass off to get these things shipped and continually working for the TitanX ecosystem.
Thanks, Ali, and we look forward to your further updates. Thanks again. Rainman, yes, fill us in on Eden and the new white paper that you shared. So over to you.
All right, how you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing well today.
Doing well, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, Eden, thank goodness everything all went well yesterday. I appreciate everybody's participation in that. Really healthy so far. I think we're just around 12 cents right now, so that's pretty good. The payouts are looking nice. Couple $100 grand in the 8-day, a little over that. A couple $100 grand in the 48-day, and almost a couple $100 grand in the 88-day. And the Bloom rewards creeping up. We all know that TitanX is taking a little bit of a dip with all the supply of the stakers coming out that Plan A was talking about. So it'll be really interesting to see. I think I was talking to Mo, and we were saying around December 2nd or 3rd that a lot of that's going to be out. So that'll be great. And X28 is going to be swallowing things up, and like it does apparently, because it's looking really nice. So Eden launched good. We have the buy and burn has like almost 400K in the buy and burn as well, and so that's really nice. And that starts in an hour and 17 minutes. So it hasn't really technically even been 1 day yet that Eden has been live. And so that's really great. Good numbers for less than 24 hours. And but the buy and burn kicks off today, and we got listed on CoinGecko with Melo's help. It's really good at that, guys. If you're getting your rows and your decks set up and all that, you should definitely reach out to him for some of that. And obviously Mike Dean is going to knock out a dashboard, which is going to be awesome when he has time for Eden. So appreciate that. Looking forward to that. Let's see here. Yeah, so one thing it's called a migrator instead of just a ratio swap on the Eden website, which will be live like we talked about on day 9. And that'll be, for the people who got airdrop the tokens or just hold liquid and want to do the one-to-one swap. And just so it's clear what happens with the Lotus token, once you do the one-to-one Eden, it's just one way. And so that Lotus token is actually fed back into the to the massive Lotus stake that we're doing from the treasury that will feed the 3 Eden pools. And so that's what happens with that. So what we decided to do instead of just, and this was a call yesterday morning that we made with the devs, is instead of just staking 25 million Lotus, we're actually going to do the ratio swap for Eden. And then so that'll automatically stake the 25 million on day 9. And then we're going to burn the 25 million Eden tokens that it comes out. I'm just going to send them to a burn address and burn it. So that'll be pretty epic for the protocol as well for Eden. Yeah, excited about that. It's going to be a big day. It's going to be interesting. And so all that stake, everything will just be by public call function. It'll be fed over to the Eden reward pools, so just increasing them in size from that, as well as the mining that can come in. So I don't know if anybody has any questions on that. That was a mouthful, I know. But yeah, so I also released Shaolin white paper yesterday because we have been talking a lot about liquidity, and liquidity is a really great thing. Whoops, let me just mute that. Sorry guys. We have been talking about liquidity a lot, and I put Shaolin. Shaolin is going to be something that hasn't been done yet before, and it's going to be paired with ETH, and you can read the white paper, but it's going to be sending 10% of the Ethereum that comes into the protocol to the TitanX liquidity pair with Ethereum, and it's also going to be using another 20% of the Ethereum to buy TitanX for the Lotus buy and burn and for the Eden buy and burn. So that's going to be pretty significant. And there's some mechanics on there that you need to take a look at that are unique as far as just basically the tokenomics before we get into that. But that's just something that we can talk about. Sorry, my dog's barking. But definitely something that we need to get into, and maybe after everybody speaks or the questions can come in and we can dig into that. So yeah, so thanks for listening and thanks for everybody for participating. And the goal is to increase the value of TitanX and increase the value of all the users, because we have 40 protocols that are going to be coming out, and I think it's going to be really good to have more Ethereum coming into the system. So that's just my strong opinion about that. So cool.
Great. Thanks, Rainman. And of course, we will have time for questions. I think it will be good if you could explain how the ETH would be distributed and how it would help the entire ecosystem. I think the white paper really has about 30% of the ETH going to TitanX. I think either directly or indirectly. So you have 10% going to the TitanX, and correct me if I'm wrong, TitanX ETH, the TitanX ETH liquidity pool.
Yep.
You have I think 20% going to Lotus and Eden.
Yeah.
Which indirectly, of course, which are both paired with TitanX.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got your several payouts, and your staking. Interesting take on that as well. But again, I think when we get to the question and answer session, or the discussions, it'd be good for you to explain why you designed the staking in the way you did.
Yeah, I think just a quick one on that is because I like the two payouts coming as we're getting closer to the bull on the 8-day and the 16-day. So they're just going to be repeating, constantly, and it's going to have some of the same mechanics as Lotus and Eden did as well. But I think it's important to as we get closer to what we might perceive the bull run, for people to get their rewards faster, right? To get their ETH back, and I like the idea of building sideways now a little bit instead of just completely vertical. I think it's awesome what's been done and completely innovative and experimental. But I think if we mix it up a little bit, then it's going to be more beneficial for the long-term health of the ecosystem. And that's really one of my perspectives on doing this. So, yeah.
Well, I think, you've built Lotus, Eden, and this is pretty much your sort of the third project that's in the pipeline. So
yeah,
if I just looking at the leaderboard, I think Lotus has consumed, of all the protocols, it's actually number 7. So again, I will need to cross-check this again. Just bear with me. Yes,
it's
Lotus is number 7. It's number 7 if you look at the TitanX.
I think it just moved to number 9. Just moved to number 9 a minute ago.
Okay.
It's in X28. It surpassed me in front
maybe there's a delay on my anyway. It's still number 7 on my. I actually refreshed, but anyway, I take your word for it anyway. So okay, it's not. But long and short of it, you definitely have contributed significantly to the ecosystem, and of course, we want to hear more, from you as to how your third project at Shaolin, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How that would further strengthen the entire ecosystem. But let me I think we've got Steve DeFi up. So
cool.
Yeah, so we'll move on to Steve, and then we will open up, unless of course anybody else wants to give an update on their project. Mello, Melocryptic, I think your project is WAP, huh? Feel free. You're not pushed. You're not being sort of forced to give any update if you think it's a bit early to do so. You could always give your update when you're ready. But you do have an opportunity now if you really want to take it. Steve DeFi, over to you.
Hey, good to see you guys. Sorry I'm late again. I got 5 o'clock my time on the cards, but I'm still not getting to this for this hour earlier. But yeah, so update on the Vault ecosystem. It's big congrats to Justin on the launch yesterday. Just awesome stuff. We talk regularly, so we're all glad that went well and you're building out. So the Vault ecosystem updates. Viper is about 20% of it is burnt. Vault is doing well. I'm building it out, and so some updates for the future is Wheel is into audits on Monday. I made a few changes. It's now has it's now a tax token. It now has a tax in it. So when you buy and sell, the tax goes to the Wheel Vault, and it's it's going to buy and it's also going to buy and sell Viper, buy and burn Viper, Turbo, and the one built on Shogun. I've got that. So Turbo and the Shogun one are ready. I just want to get the right time for that. I've got Vault staking is being built too for the Vault ecosystem. It should be done for early January, where you can stake your Vault for all the LP fees in the ecosystem. So that will go into audits in a couple of weeks. It's still being built right now. And the last thing to share is I missed the conversation on the whole liquidity thing and ETH. I know what Justin's up to, and we talk a lot. I'd love to hear more about increasing the liquidity in TitanX ecosystem. I've got this collaboration I'm doing with someone. I won't release any details, but it is so great for adding liquidity to the system. It's a really, really good idea. We didn't want to share it until in a couple of weeks. I gave Mike Dean the logo actually yesterday. He's the only one that knows about it, and then I just said don't bother putting that on yet. But I'm so excited about it. I can't keep quiet. But it's really good for the user because it's got some great game theory. It's great for TitanX liquidity, and also it's hat tip to Vault. So Vault's in the tokenomics too. It's unique. It's never been done in the TitanX ecosystem, and when you guys all find out about it, I think you're really, really gonna like it. So I'll share in a few weeks. I'm doing it with Jay Gold. Me and him we've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks now. But yeah, it's in the pipeline. So I just wanted to share that because I know it's a great conversation on this, the whole liquidity in the system and different ideas and tokenomics to help that. So that's the update on the Vault ecosystem. And any questions, just please reach out or just ask here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve. I think the fact is this. I know none of this is easy, of course, but whenever there has been a challenge, and I think Ali, of course, alluded to that earlier as well. I mean, our builders have risen to the occasion, and I think yes, we have a challenge that we have sort of identified, and it is a challenge that I strongly believe as a community we will rise to, and we'll be better for it. That is, of course, our way, as in TitanX way. It isn't necessarily the way that that other communities necessarily will respond. And I think that's something that is really great about our community. It's to look at these challenges that are, and there will be challenges in the future that will arise. And the question really for us is, how do we innovate? How do we find these solutions to these challenges? And I think we grow stronger from it. Now, Steve, we look forward to hearing from you. I think I am really, definitely, I'm looking forward to this now. You've made you created that interest, so we look forward to it. Revo, over to you.
Good afternoon,
Good-
Pane. Thank you very much
Good
for
afternoon.
doing another space. These are always riveting, and I get a lot of information from them and more stuff to research. I've been in the space since well, day 20, I would say. So really early doors. And I just wanted to alert the community to a project that I'm working on, which is Felix Protocol. We're launching on 8th of December, all being well. It's a deflationary token with a monthly randomized airdrop. So I'm doing some more. I've got the white paper out already. It's on the Telegram. So I'm inviting everybody to join the Telegram to view the white paper and join X raids and stuff like that to try and get things moving on X. It's gone through the testing phase. First audit passed with 0 issues. We've had a second audit which identified no issues as well, so all looking good. What else can I tell you about it? So what's in it for the new users is going to be it's a fair launch token. Users can mint it into existence 14 days. It's an extreme deflationary token, so 50% from minting will burn, and also but buying each month gives exposure to what we call the black box. Black box is a technology that's driven by the VRF, which is on Chainlink, and that's going to provide randomized monthly airdrops. So every 30 days there's going to be randomized airdrops, depending on how much economic energy is inside the black box. There could be some huge distributions for stakers, people that have bought tokens each month. And I think the average amount will be about the equivalent of $200. So we're trying to keep that as low as possible. The black box, as I said, could be substantial. And over time, we're hoping that that's going to grow as well, because it's going to be a tax token, 4% tax. And part of that is going to go into feeding the economic energy of the protocol. So we think it's going to be great for the TitanX ecosystem and bot protocols. And if it takes off, if there's enough economic energy inside the black box, we think it could bring in a substantial amount of users, hopefully from the TitanX ecosystem and far beyond as well. So I'm going to be doing another stream today with Dukes later on tonight at 9-ish, and then hoping to do some more streams next week as well. So yeah, for now, I think it's just a case of if everybody's can take a look at the white paper, have a look, join the TG, ask questions in there, and listen to the spaces, and and ask questions, etc. It's a pretty simple protocol, but it could be quite a big one for the ecosystem. And obviously, if we bring users in, they're not going to just sit around on our protocol. They're going to obviously explore and check out all the other great protocols that we've got in the ecosystem. So hopefully it's going to be a win-win. Hopefully it gets a bit of adoption from the TitanX ecosystem. I know everybody's there's plenty to look at the moment. We've got a lot of really good stuff coming out, and obviously Jake's protocols projects coming out as well. So yeah, hopefully people can save a few TitanX to experiment on mine, see if it takes off. Thank you.
Great, Revo. Can I just clarify? Are you building on X28 or on TitanX?
No, we were far on the build, so we didn't know. We were just doing TitanX.
Oh, okay, that's not a problem at all. And okay, I think that there may very well be questions for you. I think I like this the idea of the black box, but we'll really need to have a bit more detail. I don't know how much you could give away now, but it seems there's something there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with the black box is there is inside it some algorithms that we've worked up. So, for example, if there was say, for example, if there was $200,000 inside the black box, we're not going to blow that in one of the 30-day unlocks. So there will be a, for example, I think it will be about 20% if the amount was $200,000 inside the black box, but then that would be distributed to the people that were staking. There would be some of the airdrops would be more significant than others. So, for example, if people were interested in partaking, they would buy the token, they would keep the token, so the token's not going to go anywhere. So they are going to be buying into, basically, they're going to be buying into a token that is extreme deflationary. So that's the first thing. So they're not, so it's almost like there's a bit of up only gaming inside this one, whereby the users buy the token, no expectations for receiving an airdrop, but there could be an airdrop. So yeah, it's quite a, hopefully it's quite a sticky one, and it's a monthly thing as well. So it could bring an element of fun and energy into this protocol, and hopefully bring users from outside as well attracted to it, because as the more funds are gathered into it, the more users will obviously be looking, because there's so many degens out there, aren't there? Look at the meme coins and all the rest of it. But this is with a difference as well, because it's a bit meme coiny. So they'll buy the meme coin, but it will be a hyper deflationary meme coin. But then they'll have an exposure to that black box release as well. So it could be quite sticky, hopefully.
It's great. Yes. And you're having a live stream later today. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, with Dukes.
Great.
I've already done one with Mo and Smooth and Crypto, and I did one the other. Well, I joined in with Callum and friends the other day. So yeah, I've had a little bit of exposure, but yeah, hopefully get a bit more this week and start ramping it up a little bit. Thank you.
Great. Thanks again. Okay, so we're moving on now. I will say, if there are no other updates in the pipeline, I think we've crossed the 1 hour mark. I will suggest we open up the floor for questions. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free. This is the time. Okay. Okay, whilst we wait, I just want to make a couple of comments. I think last week I did mention that we would be, or that I will be speaking to, or at least reaching out to Sunday. Well, sorry. So bear with me. I have to recall his name. Yeah, but anyway, this is someone from Zen. It's Simple Waters. That's his name. I think you may recall. I think he joined us last week, and we're looking at doing a joint spaces. So it would be, a TitanX Zen spaces. It could be during the week or maybe on a Saturday, and I think that would be really good for both communities, given the overlap and given where we are, of course, with the level of engagement that we have been able to achieve, the level of expertise that we've got as a community, and in this case, of course, our builders. And I think this would be one that would really be good for both communities. So I just want to put it out there. Would expect more information on that later. I think if you take, for example, and I'll just mention this one I think it's Ouroboros, but of course, I think this probably will apply to other projects, given that that we can go multi chain. I know that X28 is not yet, because it doesn't go up, will not be incorporating X1. That's the Zen blockchain. Right away or even ever. Don't know, because of I think there may be some technical issues there that are in the way, but there may be other ways to link up. But the point is, if you look at a project like Ouroboros, a lend, borrow, and stable coin protocol that is looking at going omni-chain, we can do something special. There is a lot of value to capture, and for Zen, for that community, they identify with our ethos. So I think it would be a natural fit. Anyway, I'm not going to flog that any further. Just we'll definitely let the community know once we're able to firm something up. I've suggested, it'll be next month, because we've got a lot going on this month for the rest of the month. So I said, let's look at next month. So it would be sometime next month. The other point or comment I'd like to make is that probably 3 spaces ago, I mentioned the idea of a TitanX Foundation, given that we are looking at being here not just one cycle, but 2, 3 cycles and beyond, to start firming up the structures that can carry us forward. I think it was Chiz actually mentioned this sometime, and well put. We should really be listening more to the community and drawing out the ideas that community that the community will bring, because you just never know what you can get there. And driving this forward, we have to make sure that the environment is definitely such that people feel they can bring their ideas forward, and somehow that this can be incorporated in everything we do. So on the foundation point, I think Steve DeFi, who's here, and Vibrant Finance, we're looking at setting up at some point, of course. And Steve, this is no pressure, but just to mention this, that of course you're looking at something that's called a party token. And that may change, but for now, okay, we call it a party token. But that will be a way to fundraise, to drive community growth, outreach. So things like going to conferences, building up the community. As in building out a community, meaning when community growth can be financed through this, this pot of money that will be raised. We're gonna have to find innovative ways again of growing that pot. And I have no doubt that our community will be able to do that. I think Steve mentioned at some point, before Vault was launched, was prepared to dedicate an percentage of the raise that was expected for Vault. Was prepared to kind of have that go to a dedicated wallet that could help. When I mentioned this earlier, kind of a few months ago, Steve was prepared to do that. Of course, we've crossed that bridge now. What we need to do is to make this more substantive, set out the framework. We need a legal foundation to this. So, we're going to have to set up a foundation legally that is my proposal. I'll just finalize this and end this. I know this is just for FYI purposes for now, but this is definitely something that should be on our list. If you look at all the major protocols in the industry, whether it be Ethereum, Bitcoin, Binance, Cardano, they all have foundations. And if you go read through what these foundations do, they all have their different, of course, emphasis. But if you really want to move the community forward, which I believe we all do want to do, we have to really, it's either we just, carry on the way we are, or we build structures that can really take this forward. And I think we can really build this community to become something really serious. Again, expect more on that later. Just wanted to put that out there again, and we'll definitely get back to this. But just to mention, yes, there would be, a TitanX setup if we go down this path, and I hope we do. And it would be legally set up, and we would, of course, have to create ways of funding the activities of this TitanX Foundation. Let me finish up with this, just like we did with the first year anniversary, and we did it on no budget. Remember, we actually had a discussion about having a budget and this, and eventually we agreed to move on, organize it on a zero budget basis, and we managed to do that. We did that. We set up a working group, and it is really down to the efforts of various members of our community here, and their expertise that that was done, that we were able to organize a virtual conference that was largely hitch free. And so we can do that again. I think with this TitanX Foundation proposal, or building out a community, however you want to phrase it, I think we probably do need something similar, a working group, and those who may have ideas, you could join the working group, bring your ideas, your expertise, and I know that we will come up with something really special. So good. Keep an eye out, and we will be providing a bit more on this, in time to come. Okay. Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? This is the time. And if not, we can certainly look at we can start rounding up. By the way, yes, I see DeFi DJ, and he has a website that really covers. It's an introduction to TitanX ecosystem, and it has a lot of information, useful information there, and definitely a very useful resource for onboarding. So the DeFi DJ, if you do not mind, you have this TitanX is awesome on the website. Please, can you share the link to your website? Share it in the chat of this, the spaces, and so that community can take a look. Also, I think we know Kflow has a website as well that is excellent for onboarding, and it's one that we definitely do need to give exposure on, and I will be sharing that link after this, once we wrap up. But community members are doing great work. There's a lot of work going on here behind the scenes, and it's special. It's really special. I think I think Ali did say about not chasing these not chasing these green candles. that you find a home. Of course, you could go do whatever one wants to do, but you struggle to find a community where there are no rugs and I'm touch wood. I mean, this is not financial advice. We know that anything can happen, but we have built a level of we've built the rail guards, put rail guards in place that have really played a pivotal role to where we are. And I'm so looking forward to the future. There's a lot more to come. It's great. Well, I think on that note, if we're not if there are no comments or observations to share,
Plan A, is it all right if I quickly just say something?
Please.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, first of all. You and Mike hosting this every week is awesome. I listen on YouTube, and it really gives a lot of alpha for all the projects coming out. And a quick shout out to all the founders in here as well. I'm honored to be speaking with you guys. Rainman, congratulations on Eden. It's awesome. And Volt, I can't believe Steve, even all the ideas you keep coming up with are amazing as well. Just speak about new projects. I am the founder of a project coming out called Phoenix. Phoenix is going to be 28-day mint phase, and then it's going to be cap supply. With the TitanX that comes in through the mint, we're going to be making a TitanX stake, a Blaze stake, and a Flux stake. All the rewards are going to be going to buy Phoenix tokens off market. Half of them are burnt, half of them go to an auction balance. So there's going to be free stakes, buying Phoenix, and daily auctions that are perpetual after the 28-day mint phase. But yeah, shout out to everyone here. It gives so much motivation and just confidence seeing all the builders doing so much hard work for the community. And I can't wait to see where we're going to be, going into this bull run. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thanks a lot, Callum. Really appreciate it. Thanks. Yes, there is a lot. There's a lot going on, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds for us. It's good. Just to mention, as we now start wrapping up, Raymond, I know I mentioned to you earlier that I really like to hear a bit more about the staking and your rationale for the way you structured your staking, the staking for the new protocol. I think your maximum staking period is really shorter than we've really ever had in the ecosystem. I think I've not really seen it that short. That's the maximum time. Huh? That's 12 months. Huh?
Yeah.
365. Is there? What's the rationale for that?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me get rid of him real quick. Plenty. I apologize. I'll be right back. All right.
No problem. Not at all. Okay. Great. We have 100. You want to, whilst we wait for Raymond, do you want to? Do you have something to add or comment to make or question? 100.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So thank you for the opportunity.
Not
Yeah,
a
it was
problem.
more for Raymond too, as you were saying. Mine was more like, is there going to be in a way that the Lotus staking on chain is going to be a video or some tutorial about it?
Okay, great. I think when he comes back, we'll ask him to take that question as well. Okay, I think Raymond is hopping out and coming back. Well, as we wait for him, I'll just need to add, say over the next week and a bit, things to look forward to. We've got Shogun, which promises to be, really a game changer in the community. And let's see, I guess that's going to be the first protocol built on X28. We are very likely to get the Ouroboros stablecoin and the Borrow Lend protocol. That's huge. That should be that should be next week, sometime next week. So the week beginning the 1st. So yeah, that's next week. Something to look forward to. And I think in December we would be expecting a lot more. So you got Matrix, which Mike has kindly updated us on, and There's quite a lot in the pipeline. If you look at the pipeline of protocols, there definitely are quite a few protocols there, and we are looking forward to each of them. I would like a mellow critic. I think whenever you and your team are prepared to give an update, I really want to see how you have structured your ETH. I know you have it in your white paper and so on, but really want to understand better how you've structured the ETH inflow into the system, because you're not a protocol. I know Raymond has discussed his new protocol and his proposal of using ETH there, but would also like to understand how your WAP protocol would be utilizing the ETH that comes into your protocol. Anyway, yes, Raymond, you're back.
Yeah, sorry about that. A lot of deer walking around everywhere, and the dogs just go crazy. Yeah, so we were talking about staking. Yeah, so the minimum staking is going to be 88 days, and the maximum, and that was actually just a typo, it's supposed to be 365 days, so I'll fix that. But yeah, so it's a year. It's just, I like the idea of people getting their tokens back, including myself, and not be, kept in too long in the protocols and some of them. And, my other ones are 4 years and whatnot. And that's great because they're kind of time for the bull cycle to get back. But this is kind of different. And I wanted it to be shorter because I want people to get their tokens back. And I'm also kind of using the same subtraction game theory as we get closer to what we might be perceived the bull run, so it's a mining protocol, right? Shaolin, and mining will only last for 88 days, and a max miner is 100 days, and so it's kind of timing the max miners. Like with Lotus, they were I believe 180, and then Eden they were 150, and now they're going to be 100 days in max mining length. And then obviously that's just kind of goes with some of the game theory that I think is important when we do start seeing some major green candles when we get into the bull market. So that's kind of where that came into play. And also it's deflation. It's not as extremely hyper deflationary as Lotus and Eden is when it comes to the mining. The mining actually decreases at a percentage of 1% per day. But the cost of the miner, instead of going up like it does drastically in both Eden and Lotus, is just going to stay equal. And that's something we kind of have to figure out with the devs, kind of keep it around the same price and how to do that because of the fluctuation, in all of the markets in crypto. And that's because, as we go into the bull market, we know Ethereum is going to be getting more expensive. So it's not going to be the same thing as, we're not like with Eden, say 1.75% per day is the cost of increase in miner to create a natural cap. And Lotus has already created a natural cap. I mean, literally, and it's like 20 some days old. And Eden is also going to create the halving is around 30 days. So this is just going to be different. So I just wanted the price point entry to be the same for everybody and not just get outrageously expensive. So yeah, and it's deflationary. I wouldn't go as far as calling it hyper deflationary, but it will have a 40% buy and burn. So that's pretty significant of Ethereum that's going to be burning it. So maybe that will turn into hyper deflationary potentially. Yeah, so it's going to be. I was going to have a sales tax on there, but I'm not now because I forgot that you can't do that on V2, and I would prefer to use V3 for this, just because it enables people to provide concentrated liquidity ranges, and it's easier to single side exit for people to do that as well. Yeah, so there's a scaling bonus for the miners up to 100% for the longer if you do a year-long staking. I'm sorry, a staking bonus, and there's also it's the same similar bonus for the miners as well. So it's on Eden and as well as Lotus. So, do you have any questions, Plan A?
Yeah.
I know it's a lot.
Well, we had no problem. We had, I mean, we have one from One Love 100. One Love 100. Can you ask your question?
Okay. Yes, so thank you for coming back, man. Good job for all the hard work you're doing. We appreciate. I was
Thanks, man.
My question is there going to be any tutorial for the staking of Lotus since the contract is still active and the bonuses Blossom is still giving out? Are we gonna find a way that we can stake Lotus on the chain?
I mean, I can probably do something. I mean, I've said I wouldn't recommend it because you might want to wait until the day 9 thing happens, where that treasury stake happens, to see if it's really going to be worth your investment. To do that. And that's not financial advice, but yeah, it's just it's a public way, and yeah, I'd be happy to do it. And we just took it off the front end because I just thought it would be unethical for people that aren't in the know, right, about that variable bug that was in the staking payout pools in Lotus, which you're obviously well aware of. But yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to do that. It's just basically go into the Ether scan, and you go to the contracts and write and click and connect your wallet, and you should be able to do it. But I'll talk to the devs. I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
So I don't think it's something that just something to think about. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. Well,
thank you.
Thank you. And One Love, I mean, if you, again, of course, I'm not telling anyone what to do at all.
Yeah.
And you have your own reasons as to why you want to, or why you might have some opportunity there that you want to explore. But again, there's no financial advice being given here at all. Again, this is just for educational purposes. Now, if we look at Ethan, I mean, this is something I'm definitely keeping an eye on this. But this was launched, I think, as Raymond said, less than 24 hours ago. This was launched with a huge amount of TitanX preloaded in each of the pools, apart from your bi-weekly Bloom reward payout. But you have, even at today's prices with respect to TitanX, you have over 200K worth of TitanX in the 8-day payout cycle, the 48-day payout cycle, and the 88-day payout cycle. You have about 184, or so rounded up to 185,000 USD worth of TitanX. And of course, we know, again, at today's prices, if TitanX picks up say next month, with of course Shogun coming in and the other protocols that we expect, this really could be really a good play. Again, not financial advice, but this, I think, this has started off with a healthy amount of funds in the payout, in the payout cycles, and they've got 3 payout cycles here. Again, ignoring the bi-weekly cycle. And so
the buy and burn plan has 400.
Oh yes, sorry, absolutely,
400K
yes.
in the buy and burn.
Yeah. Alrighty, and that's 400K. Okay. Oh, we will keep an eye on this.
Can I mention one more thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Eden is the focus right now, and really, I just wanted to let the users know that, because Eden, they're in the Volt ecosystem and TitanX ecosystem and Lotus, and what I had coming just by releasing Shaolin to just kind of help with what I saw as like a wider vision perspective. This isn't something that's going to be like another protocol dropped out. It's like Steve said, timing is very important. It's like Ali said, timing is very important with everything. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect Shaolin for 45 days at least. So it's not, these are certain things that we're just going to be throwing out there, and tweaks could be made. So, but yeah, take a hard look at it and just see what it does, and it'll help people make decisions you know, with their Lotus, with their Eden, when they know kind of what's coming from me, you know, as far as a builder. And I just want to, that's the last thing I'll say. And I just want to say good luck, you know, to Crypto Awesome with everything that he's got going on with his NFTs, and Steve and the rest of the builders in here. So all the projects sound really awesome. And yeah, it's like Ali said, like, don't let these red candles just fumble you right out of your bags. You know, we're just everybody sees a big picture of you know, what's coming, and especially with Plan A, some of these ideas that he's throwing out there, which are just huge. I like them a lot. So let's just see where it takes us and try to stay positive. And I appreciate the second chance from the community. So thanks.
Thank you.
You're not done.
Sorry, one left. Say that again.
I was just saying that, Raymond, yesterday I saw a quick video. It wasn't you, but it was about some 25 million lotus that will be moved to Eden, and the Eden will be banned forever, and the lotus will be sent to the treasury. I didn't understand that quick video. It wasn't you, because I know your face, but I think somebody from your team posted that short video.
I think it was me, but I think it was me. Maybe not. Okay, so good, right? So I'll explain that. So the treasury is like the liquidity wallet that people have been doing, like, you know, is these new protocols and J2 even to provide full range liquidity. But since there's a bug, so there's 25 million Lotus tokens in the treasury. And so what's going to happen is whenever you use that migrator swap that's going to be available on day 9, anybody can do it anytime for a Lotus token. It doesn't have to be the people that got airdropped for the stake. All right. So that one Lotus token, that once you swap it, you will get an Eden. But that Lotus token is sent back over to the Lotus protocol to add to this, just call it well state, okay, if you will, which is going to rescue some of this TITANX that's just going to be sitting in there, and it'll transfer it over to the Eden pools, and it'll be split evenly. So what's going to happen is 25 million Lotus tokens, instead of just staking directly into the protocol and sending them over to Eden, we're going to do that. We're going to swap them for the Eden, and then it automatically sends them over to the Lotus protocol. And then in return, we have 25 million Eden tokens that are just going to be burned right there out of existence. So that's like that was a better solution. So does that make sense? Because the rewards that are going to come over from Lotus are going to be for the people, for the Eden staking pools that aren't affected like the Lotus ones were. Does that make sense?
I think so. I think it also will help with the inflation, the early inflation of Eden too, with 25 million of them being banned within, I mean, let's assume within the 10.
I mean, it'd be like immediately, you know, just get rid of them, you know. So yeah, so we don't want any type of inflation, but it is good, you know. So that is a better solution for sure. Yeah. And it also helps everybody, because it has to be a fair launch. And I know we airdropped, and some people wanted, you know, to get their tokens immediately so they could get in front of everyone else, but that's not really how we do things here, even though there was this mistake. So in TitanX, right, with the fair launch. So then the rewards will be coming in for the next 8-day payout, which is cool because it gives all the people that got their Lotus airdrop, they can swap for Eden, and they can be, you know, part of the next 8-day payout with the massive, you know, giant whale thing or the one after. So yeah, that's kind of just a game theory to make things right. So
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you. And One Love 100. If you have any further questions, you can go. You know, you definitely can visit the Telegram group, the Eden Lotus Telegram group, and I'm sure, you know, any further questions will definitely be dealt with. But definitely, those are good questions. Those are good clarification questions. Thanks again. Okay, I think we should start wrapping up. And can I call upon Oh, we've got another request at this point. Okay, TEDx. Okay, let's see. Let's see. TEDx. Okay, TEDx is up. Yeah. So, TEDx, over to you.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All
Can
right.
hear you loud and
Great.
clear.
Hey,
Good.
honored to be here. I just wanted to introduce, I'm just going to make this short and sweet. Mizuchi is a project that I'm working on with Rudy. I wanted to introduce it. Let's just say it's built on X28. I call it a project that's going to ride shotgun with Shogun. It's going to be a very interesting project. We're looking at trying to muster up 500 members into our Telegram group, which is Mizuchi.win. We would appreciate it if you guys would swing by. Join the group so we can get the white paper out so you guys can read about what we have planned. But I will say that it's an X28 build, and it's going to make a great partner for Shogun. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that for now.
Great. Thanks, TEDx. We really would like to hear more about this. I know it's all that you need to say, or all that you want to say for now, but yeah, that's another one we would like to hear about and get more information on. Are you coming back next week to sort
Yes.
of kind of fill in the the details or what's the idea? I'm not pressuring you at all, because you know how these build. You know, it does take time, and we want you to do it. Of course, you do it well, but any information you can provide will be really helpful. So you're building it on X28, and it's going to complement Shogun. It's as much as you can say for now.
Yes.
Sure.
For now,
Okay.
that's about what I can say.
Okay.
And you are correct. A lot of people are curious, Plan A. But the thought, effort, and the design behind this is really a compilation of all of the really dynamic protocols that we have are coming to a great big party, if you will. So by next week, we'll have some more information. We're still in some design phase with the artists that we're working with.
That's good.
And so yeah, we are definitely utilizing community resources as well, engaging with the community and seeking expertise there as well. So we were really excited as a team to work with Jake and get his feedback. So hats off to Jake and those that were involved. I appreciate all of you. Congratulations to Rainman on the Eden launch, and to Crypto Awesome for getting those NFTs out. But Plan A, I hate to do this, but I'm going to cut the cord, man. It's too hard. There's so much I want to say, but I just can't.
That's okay. Definitely, you've definitely said enough to I think you've said enough to cover the subject matter. And
yeah, so please swing by and join the Telegram group. We would really appreciate that, because this is gonna flip people out. It's the only way I can say it. In every capacity, just think as broadly as possible, and that's where we're aiming. And our goal is to burn as much as we can.
Oh, great. So we definitely look forward to the further updates that you will provide. Thanks again. We'll start. Yes, thank you. We'll start wrapping up, and let's start with arraignment, and then we'll work around. So we want closing remarks from our builders, and we will wrap up. So Rainman, over to you.
Yeah, just want to say thanks everybody again for your participation. The buy and burn kicks on in 20 minutes. We shall see how it goes, and have a great week. and I'll keep you updated. Join the Telegram if you want, answer any questions, read the Shaolin white paper, and keep pressing on and doing what you do. Thanks, Plan A and Mike, for hosting again, as usual, guys.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Callum, over to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on as well. I really appreciate these streams every week. They're really good. And one more thing I would just quickly say about Phoenix is we got our first audit back today. There were no high or critical issues. There were just some small, medium ones and a few low ones, but we're going to be sending it off to the next audit after that. So expect Phoenix early December. So yeah, thanks for having me on again.
Great, thank you. TEDx. I know you.
I appreciate the opportunity, everybody, and stay strong, stay safe, be mindful of your security, be kind, courteous, and polite to others, and spread the message of what we represent.
It's great. Crypto Awesome.
Yeah, super stoked on that TEDx. So yeah, can't wait to read that white paper. And thanks everybody. Yeah, go check out the hybrids, AwesomeX.win. It says hybrids up on the top. You can check out if you have AwesomeX, you can mint some. But anyways, yeah, thanks everybody, and hope you're doing great, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Riho, over to you.
Yeah, just want to say thanks, guys. Thanks again for hosting this brilliant session. It's really useful, and I think it does give newbies an idea of what's going on within the space. So I just want to say, please join the Felix Protocol Telegram group and follow us on X as well. And as usual, I am Revo Communities, and you'll see me making loads of noise about TitanX and other things online as well. So thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Vault, Steve DeFi.
Yeah, great to hear all the cooking going on. Fantastic, excited about the protocols, and what a great journey we're on in this ecosystem. Shogun maybe this week. Let's see. Exciting, and guys, have a lovely week, and we'll touch base soon.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, 1 second. I think. Okay,
Mike,
I think
can you
now
hear me?
it's yeah. It was no unmuting, so I think you guys can hear me now. Anyway, yeah, as usual, red candles, green candles. We always here every Sunday. So thank you for listening in again, and for the people also on YouTube. Yeah, on your way out, don't forget to spank that like button and subscribe as well. And essentially, from what I'm hearing, a lot of things are happening in the ecosystem. We heard Callum today. Oh, by the way, welcome, Callum. I think this is your first Spaces, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? I think so. But anyway,
Yeah, I've been listening from the sidelines. So.
no worries, all good. Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of testing on Matrix. The audit is ongoing, so things are looking forward. I'm doing a lot of testing, and upcoming week, I'm gonna create a group and to just do a group test as well to just make sure everything is working as intended. I got a message yesterday from Steve, and he sent me his new protocol, which he talked about earlier on. And I was like, oh man, he will not stop cooking. This man is cooking. Steve is cooking. So looking forward to that. I'm very excited. Things are looking great. Thank you for listening in, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.
So, thank you. That was meant to be a thumbs up for Steve. I hope you didn't see that. That was meant to be a thumbs up for Steve. I am always looking forward to what Steve has to offer as well. So please, Steve. Okay, please. I really need to go on record and say that. Okay, good. Let me just round up and say this. I mean, we've heard, Raymond's extensive, updates on his protocols, and we've seen, of course, we have the full spectrum of this. So, and of course, we have had TEDx's very short speech, if I may call it that, or very short update, which reminded me, I was thinking about this, a quote that is attributed to Churchill, that a speech should be very short. Please don't take this the wrong way, anyone here, but it should be very short, very much like a woman's. Sorry, put it this way. Let me have a step back on this. But it says a speech should be very much like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject, but short enough to be interesting. That is what TEDx came up with. This after everyone's update. They said, "Well, this is what I'm giving you, and no more." So anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks. Everyone, and you do make these spaces what they are. I am really honored to have the opportunity to moderate these every week. Thanks again, and have a great week ahead. And we'll do this all over again, same time next week. Thanks again. Take care.